guys must be wondering, what are these two organizations, Heartfulness and Group of Transcendental Meditators, led under the leadership of Sri Tony Nader after Maharshi's passing away, are doing together? Often, organizations are poles apart. We have seen religions that are meant to reconnect often divides us. We remain 1 inch higher than the other. But this clarion call of unity was heard by transcendental meditators led by Sri Tony Nadarji. And we had the first group interaction at Kanha Santivanam, where almost 10,000 meditators from worldwide assembled, and they were all from Transcendental Meditations. We, as a host at Heartfulness, came together and made that seminar successful. Later on, the idea came across that why not unite many spiritual organizations? Let's work together for peace. We can fight all we want with differences of opinions, philosophical idealisms, but let's find a common cause why we all exist, why each philosophical system was developed in the first place. The main cause, peace and harmony, happiness. If we cannot, as individual organization, nurture to our satsangis, who else will? Who else can? So it is our esteemed responsibility, it's a privilege, and if we don't come together, then God help us. We can never be like a drop in the ocean. We will never be able to have yoga as defined as Jat Jyoti yoga. Forget about the union with the ultimate. Since you are not able to have union with your brothers and sisters, it will be denied. And especially, if an ordinary person commits a crime, there should be a certain level of punishment. But if the Prime Minister or the Supreme Court judges commits the murderous acts, then you should set aside a special punishment for them. They deserve a greater punishment than the common person. Why am I saying this? So-called religious leaders and so-called spiritual leaders, instead of becoming udyogis and business people, come and unite. If you keep dividing, it is the biggest sin you will be perpetuating on this planet, and karmas are inexorable. Whatsoever you do, it will boomerang. So especially the spiritual leaders has to be more careful. Must make sure that satsangis are not polarized against each other. I now request Sri Tony Nadarji to share his wise words.
Namaste, Pranam. Shri Daji, it's a great honor to be with you and all this august assembly, and to have the opportunity again to thank you for your big heart. Heartfulness is a theme, inner peace and outer peace we have experienced and lived together under your blessings in the great Kanashanti Vanam, and all our 11,000 people who have come from 139 countries felt the big heart that you have and that all your staff and support system have expressed and shown us. Today, it's very important to highlight the unity of life, as Daji beautifully highlights and calls upon all leaders of the world to understand, and that from a scientific perspective, not just a belief level. I have grown in the Middle East. I was born in Lebanon, wanted to understand life with great hopes. And suddenly a civil war emerged between different factions that believe in different things on the surface, that feel they belong to different maybe ethnicities, and that exploded into a catastrophic war. In my medical training, I had to face in the emergency room and the hospital something we can't even describe. It's much more than what you see in movies during war conditions and situations, day after day. And one wonders what makes the humans go in that direction? What makes us think of the differences and forget the unity value? At the same time, I learned transcendental meditation, and it gave me strength and power to be established in the self, in my own consciousness, my own being, and to face all these unbelievably challenging situations on the surface value. But questions remained of why people do that and what can we do about it. And today in our world, the same question is actually being asked on a more global level. And basically, simply what is needed is for the tree to realize it's one tree and it's nourished by the same roots, even though their flowers can be different, the branches have different qualities, the trunk is more hard, the petals are more soft, the fruits have their own quality, yet it's one tree. Our body is one body. We have a heart that pumps blood. There is part of it that's oxygenated, part of it is not oxygenated. We have parts that digest things, we have parts that collect things and store them. And all of these parts work together as wholeness because of the sense of unity. We are one individual. The right hand doesn't fight with the left hand. The feet that walk are not angry with the hands that grab things and do things. And like this, our world is actually one reality. And when we see it from the surface value of different aspects, different ethnicities, different qualities of life, and focus on those surface values, we forget the wholeness that underlies that totality. And we start fighting on the surface level. But this is just intellectual thinking, and we all know it, and we can discuss it, and there are many people who proclaim it on the surface level. What is missing is to know it on the deep level of our being. And that is what meditation brings. And it brings that not only on the mind level, on the intellectual level, on the thinking level, analytical level, but on the level of direct experience. When we go beyond the surface levels of our layers of existence, there are the koshas, the the different layers that make us physical, mental, intellectual. And then we reach that there is something deeper that we transcend, that allows us to transcend to that value of pure being, pure consciousness, which is what we really truly are. Then inherently we realize that we are the sap that nourishes the tree. We are not just one aspect. We are that wholeness that allows all diversity to grow and prosper and be successful on its own level, yet we are that one reality. And that is the beautiful thing I see in the ancient traditions, such as the Vedic tradition, where it is said, Vasudhaiva Kutumbakam, the world is my family. And what this means is not just humans are my family, but also the rivers, the trees, the animals, the environment. All of this is myself. When you say my family, it means it's yourself. And when you have that self-value well established in you on a broad level, rather than a narrow understanding of my little self that is hiding in my skin and this body, but it includes my friends, it includes my family, it includes my community, it includes my country, it includes my world. Then you see that together we are like these different aspects of our physiology. The heart, the river, the hand, the feet, they do different things. And that is what makes us able to do so much. And so those diversity values are not to be eliminated. They are to be highlighted and strengthened, but not become the reference for fear of the other, for anxiety about protecting myself because the other might take something from me. And what all of this unifying value is, truly. Unifying value can be expressed in many levels, and the highest, most beautiful level that expresses the unifying power of life is love, is the term love. And that is where we honor and praise the Heartfulness movement and Daji's mission to unify. The heart is what puts together what the intellect discriminates. Both values are important. You have to be clear where you're going. You have to find your way. You have to know this way is not right, this way is right. The intellect is needed. But when you see that all paths lead to ultimately the one absolute reality of the being, of the self, of wholeness, and the meaning of life, then you are not afraid that somebody can take a different path and you can take a different path. You still love them because they are fulfilling something. You are fulfilling something. The liver is digesting or storing. The digestive tract is breaking down the components. They seem to be doing two different things, yet they love each other because they are one, the sense of oneness. So where is that ultimate oneness? That ultimate oneness is in consciousness, in awareness. That is where everything gets unified. And more today, science is discovering and highlighting the importance of consciousness, and that consciousness is primary. And this is where meditation techniques, I'm most familiar with the transcendental meditation technique that has been proven through thousands of scientific research, studies, and analysis to really lead to that improvement on the physical outer level, so better performance, greater creativity, improved behavior, and even improved social situation, where a few people practicing meditation together, as we have done in Kanashanti, together from 139 countries, create an effect. And we are studying these effects on society. And there have been hundreds of scientific research studies showing that it can lead to reduction in crime, reduction in accidents of the road, reduction in hospital admissions. So consciousness and meditation, even though it draws us inward, it has a very powerful effect on all outer aspects. It's like watering the roots of the tree, nourishing the sap, and then all aspects of the tree are nourished. And we have had this experience in a wonderful way at Kanashanti. It was a real joy to meet and be with all those who are working there. And then again, under Daji's guidance, the Mahotsav that collected all the spiritual leaders and looking for the important contribution from the East, from India, from the Vedic tradition, to make sure the world understands that the dimension of consciousness, the dimension of spirituality, is what will save our world. Being on the level of only physicality and materiality is going to lead to decision-making that is based on surface values, forgetting the roots of life, forgetting the source of the rivers of life. So if you forget the source, the river will dry. And the source is consciousness, is awareness, is pure being. And that is the glue, that is the supreme heartfulness, the supreme heart that unifies everything. And it's a joy to be with all of you and to pay our homage and honor to Sri Daji and all of those organizing this event and all events, so that we can raise consciousness about the importance of spirituality in a true sense, not necessarily religion, although religion can be very spiritual, but spirituality in a scientific way. And today, science has enough knowledge, enough study and expertise that it can show us that actually consciousness, which is pure spirituality, is primary, and that matter emerges from that field. I have been guided by my teacher, Maharishi Mahesh Yogi, to pursue this knowledge, and I have written a book that is called Consciousness is All There Is, which describes how truly Advaita Vedanta, truly supreme spirituality, is the essence of existence, and it's a very practical aspect that can make life better on the surface level, on the physical level, on the material level, as well as maintain that supreme unity so that diversity can flourish, but on the grounds of pure unity, and make our world a heavenly place, as is called in the Vedic tradition, Ram Raj, the kingdom of wholeness, of fullness, of totality, where everyone lives in peace with each other, independent of their traditions, belief systems, walks of life. And that is full unification, which is full heartfulness, and it's a great joy to be with you. Thank you for having me. I want to thank you for having us here and for having us again in Kanashanti. My book comes in August this year, so it's not published, but I printed specially for you a copy that I'd like to offer you.